Okay, YouTube, in this video, I briefly want to take a moment to talk about the intersection or union of two intervals. So basically, what we're going to do is this. We're going to be given a couple of intervals. We have a couple here. And in the first instance here, we're asked to find the intersection of these two. In the second instance, we're asked to find the union. So respectively, here's how we would deal with this. Number one is we're going to go graph both of these intervals on the number line. But remember, when we talk about the intersection, we're talking about the things that they have in common in those two sets. So once we've graphed these intervals on the number line, we say to find the intersection, we'll just take the portion of the number line that the two graphs have in common. Whereas when we discuss the union, we're talking about combining those things. So he says to find the union, take the portion of the number line representing the total collection of the numbers in the two graphs. So for this first example right here, we'll go ahead and get our number line rocking. And I notice that the furthest left any of these goes is 1, and the furthest right it goes is 6. So I'm going to kind of cheat. I'm going to start up here at 0. We say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5. We'll go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so let's start by graphing this first. It looks like a closed interval, and it starts at 1 and it proceeds out to 3, and it looks like it includes both endpoints here. So we have 1 to 3, and that interval would be from there to there. Now, just to kind of get some variety here, let's switch over 2 to 6. We'll put this in green. We have this open interval from 2 to 6. So we would say it starts at 2, or at least just beyond 2, and then it proceeds out to 6 here. And it's it's open. So we'd say there it is right there. So when we discuss the part of the number line that they have in common, we're talking about the intersection of these two things. I seem to see that it's right here. We have this open end and this closed end of this interval, and everything in between there would be what they have in common. So the intersection of these two sets, if we're going to write this, we would say starts at 2 and goes up to and includes 3. This would be the intersection of those two sets. So now, considering the union of these two sets, the nice thing is we're just going to kind of graph the same area here. We'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'll just end at 6. But we had our first interval was from 1 to 3, 1 to 3, and it was closed. And our second interval was from 2 to 6, so I'm going to kind of make these smaller so we can see it a little bit more easily. But I noticed that it starts at 1 and it goes out to 6. And we can see that, I guess, over here as well. But it starts at 1, and we're combining these two sets. So we say all the way over to 6 here. Basically, we would say all together then, the union of these two things can be represented as starting at 1 and including 1 and proceeding up to 6 but excluding 6. So that's what we mean by intersection and unions when we're using interval notation. Draw a picture. Cheers.